What's up, guys? Sports Mafia Podcast here. I got Jacob here. We're gonna go through our mock drafts. Me and him. This is gonna be like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks kind of thing, because I make a lot of mock drafts, and I bet he does too. So to take what we say with a grain of salt, I've just now started getting into actually diving into the prospects. I'm in my progress right now. And I think we've only gotten 5 players done, but most of this is going off what I've watched over the college football season. I don't know about Jacob, but he can tell you what he's done so far if he wants to.
Basically, since the Jets are just garbage, I've been looking at prospects all season. So I've got my guys down.
The Dolphins are garbage too, so we're chilling. But all right, so we're gonna get in mine real quick. All right, share screen. There we go. Come on, bro. All right, there we go. All right, cool. All right, so we got mine. I made this right after the playoff, and some of these guys are gonna be playing in the national championship, so it will increase and decrease their stock. But so far, this is what I got. Number 1, I got Kayvon Thibodeau. Overall, just he has really long arms, which seems to be very important in the NFL. He's very powerful. He needs to work on his technique. But other than that, he's probably the best prospect in this class. You have any problem with that?
No.
Okay. All right. Now 2 was tricky. I wanted to go Aiden Hutchinson here, and I probably should have. But Derek Stingley is they seem to miss on Jeff Okudah, and I know he's been hurt, but he just hasn't been good even when he was playing, and he's just hurt.
Okudah.
And many people think Derek Stingley is a generational corner. I mean, from what I've watched, he's been really good. But I have a guy that we'll talk about here in a second that I really, really like. But corner position is really tough, or really, really important position. And I think if you want to go get a guy, I think Stingley's that guy. Fluid with his hips. The only bad games I've watched from him were against Alabama, where he played against Devontae Smith. So, but other than that, I think Stingley's a solid pickup. But if you go Hutch here, I wouldn't be mad about it, because I think Hutch is in that same tier as prospect. What you gotta say about that?
I feel like they're like, my personal opinion, they're going Hutch there. I don't see them going corner. They need that like big edge rusher, get to the quarterback, because if you can't get to the quarterback, then having a good corner means nothing, because the quarterback's gonna have all the time in the world to throw.
Yeah, and when I was making this mock draft, I thought about it, but I was like, and I also thought about the Michigan tie, and every mock draft I've been going Hutch and Kayvon 1 and 2. I kind of wanted to go something different here because it's not fun doing the same mock draft. So I think if they don't go Hutch, they go Derek Stingley. Number 3, the dumpster fire of the Texans I have them going Hutch. It's really best player available at that point. I mean, if he makes it to 3, you run up to the table. You don't take a quarterback here. Davis Mills at least proven to me that he needs 1 more year. And that team is just so derived of talent that they need something there. And Hutch is a high motor. And what I want to say about Hutch is he's a really good player, but I think he has more of a high floor but lower ceiling than Kayvon Thibodeau. I think Kayvon Thibodeau has a higher ceiling, and that's why I think you might go him at 1. But I think Hutch is more of the surefire thing. No, he didn't have a great game against Georgia, but it's Georgia, Once you get him in the NFL weight rooms and stuff, I think he becomes better. I think he becomes bigger, stronger. And you watch the Ohio State game, and you just see a generational kind of guy right there. His motor is fantastic. His play speed's good. He has a bunch of moves. I think he's the full package. And normally I would have gone him at 2 or 1, but I tried something different on this one. I kind of played into the narrative that, oh, right after the playoff, I'm like, yeah, Hutch didn't have a good game, let's drop him. But I just kind of had fun with that one. What you got to say about that one?
I mean, I could see like the narrative of him bad game. Little, I could see that possibly happening, but honestly, there for the Texans to take him. It worked.
Yeah, I mean, if he's there, you run up to, you don't use the whole 10 minutes, you run up to the board. Number 4, this is the guy I was talking about, Sauce Gardner. He's one of my favorite players in this class. Now, I do think he was getting a little bit overhyped in the Alabama game. The Alabama didn't try to throw the ball, but when he did guard Jameson Williams, he did a fantastic job. And that matchup lived up to the hype. He's a very good corner. I see him going in the 20s in most mocks, and I think it might be because he's a little undersized, I think, and maybe his athletic profile isn't like a Stingley or a Roger Mccreery. But I think he's just too good. The Jets need a corner. I mean, Bryce Hall has been good. They have a bunch of solid corners, but you need that game changer. I think Gardner's that game changer. He's going to be that AJ Terrell, lock down one side of the field. And I think he definitely fits the mold of what the Jets need.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't, if I was the Jets, me being a Jets fan, I wouldn't go that high on a corner. There's a lot bigger needs on our defense that we need to fill. Don't get me wrong, Ahmad Gardner's a great talent, and he's going to be a great talent in the NFL, but I don't see the Jets going corner at 4. We have much bigger gaps that we need to fill.
Yeah, the Jets kind of suck, but but Zach Wilson's fun, so that's cool. Yeah, like I said, these mocks will become more coherent as time goes on, and I mean, you never know what they're actually going to do. I could also see an Evan Neal be picked here, or one of my other favorite guys in the class, Ike Ekwonu. Evan Neal kind of didn't look great against Cincinnati. I mean, I have to dive more in the film, but he kind of struggled a little bit. So I think either one of those guys could be there. I just think that defense needs some reworking, and they need a corner. So you take it at 4, or you could take it at 7, which I think might be a little bit more likely. But, I wanted to build this 4 and 7 pick together, and I think it becomes a lot of fun when you look at it. 5, I have the Giants going Evan Neal. They need offensive linemen. It's the bottom line. They need offensive linemen.
Their offensive line is horrendous.
And same with number 6. I mean, they need offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I know my Dolphins have a terrible offensive line. It was PFF's worst offensive line they think I've ever seen. But like the Panthers are like close to that. Their offensive line was terrible. I remember they played the Dolphins. PJ Walker and Cam Newton had no time. I also could see a quarterback here. Well, I guess we'll see. Maybe they go trade for one. Maybe they draft one later. Maybe like a guy like Desmond Ridder later, or maybe trade back up in the first round. But I'm going Icky. He's one of the top 5, 6 players in this class, and you go best player available in a position in need. 7 is my number 1 player in the class. I don't even have to tape study him, but I'm going to because it's going to be so much fun. Kyle Hamilton's the best player in this class, and I don't even know if it's particularly close. Now, the safety position is not as valued, but he's just so good. He's so rangy. He's the best safety prospect I have ever scouted. And I've been doing this on and off since like 2017. I remember that draft with Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. That's when I really started this. But he's the best safety prospect I ever scouted. He's over Derwin James in my opinion, and I love Derwin James. He's over a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick, who played that safety corner hybrid role, and I loved Minkah. but the Jets grab a safety. I think Ashton Davis has been playing solid. He picked off my boy too. So, but you just gotta get a game changer. And if the number one player, in my opinion, is at 7, you take him no matter what position he is, unless it's running back.
I mean, I personally love the Kyle Hamilton pick. We lost Jamal Adams to the trade. So he's on an expiring contract. We need a safety. I would be so happy.
All right, he's lagging a little bit, but he said, yeah, he'll be really happy after losing Jamal Adams. You get a better player here, in my opinion, more upside player, in my opinion. But yeah, number 8, John, internet connections unstable. Yeah, I know. Number 8, David Jabo. Wow. He had a very good game against Georgia. He is still learning the game of football, which is crazy that he is a prospect and he's a highly touted prospect that's still learning the game of football. I remember hearing that like he didn't know why quarterbacks spike the ball. But the thing about it is he's learning the game of football and he's already as good as he is. The Giants need edge help. Azeez Ojulari was all right this year, I think. David Jabo, if you can get him with a very, very good defensive mind, I think, and that can develop him, I think he could be something special. He could be one of the best talents we've seen. I think he's got that in his bag, to be honest. He's insane with like how much upside he has.
The Giants and drafting Jabo, pairing him with Azeez Ojulari, that could potentially grow to be a deadly duo. Because I think Azeez has a lot of potential. He just didn't show it this year. But the sky's the limit for him. And pairing him with Ojabo, that would be a just deadly combo.
Yeah, I think Azeez also had like injury concerns going into the year. So I think you give him more time. He was good though. He wasn't at the Kwity Paye, Micah Parsons tier, but he was good. He was solid.
Yeah.
Number 9. Now we love ourselves some Taylor Heineke, but you get a quarterback here in Kenny Pickett that I've compared for a long time to Joe Burrow. And a lot of people are jumping on that comparison now. He's athletic like Burrow. Like he might be a little bit more athletic than Burrow. And I think he's got that edge like Burrow. I just watch him and he's like more impressive like on the run. It's kind of weird to me that someone could be more impressive throwing on the run, throwing when the pocket collapses. Now, does he have the greatest arm? No. He doesn't always put the ball right where it needs to be, but you get him with a guy that can refine his skills. I think he could be something special. I think Joe Burrow is raising this guy's stock every day with how he's proven everyone wrong. People were like, "Oh, well, Burrow won't be like as good as Herb because he doesn't have as strong an arm," and people are comparing him to Alex Smith. But Burrow is kind of taking the league by storm right now, and a guy like Kenny Pickett's benefiting from that, in my opinion. I think NFL scouts will see that, and he'll go higher than the experts predict.
Yeah, I could see Washington taking Kenny Pickett. Like Heineke's good, but when you have a quarterback like that, number 9, you got to go there. Heineke, he'll find another job somewhere in the NFL, but I'm taking Kenny Pickett all day.
Yeah, and I've briefly scouted some of these guys. I've went into more Pickett than anyone, and I've went into Malik Willis, but I haven't like fully done my in-depth. Like, I started with receivers, so I still have a long way to go. But Kenny's just, I really like him. People are like, oh, well, he can't be in that top echelon of quarterbacks, and I think that's weird putting a cap on someone just because maybe you don't think he can be that. But maybe that's just my opinion. Number 10, Falcons desperately need to get to the quarterback. Matt Ryan is definitely old, but like I don't see a quarterback that's worth taking unless it's like Malik Willis that you can let sit under Ryan. But I'm pretty sure the Falcons have like the worst pass rush in the league. Like they're like the worst against the quarterback. And you take the best edge on the board, in my opinion, Karl Loftus. Now he might not. He's going to be a high floor player, maybe not the highest ceiling, but he's a freak. He's a freak on the field, bro. He can just do it all. He might not be as bendy as some of these other guys, but he's strong. He has a variety of moves, in my opinion, and I think that he's going to instantly help out that pass rush and solidify, maybe get him up a couple spots in the rankings, pass rush wise. But I think Karlaftis would be the pick there.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's got a couple of years left in the tank, and Karlaftis, he's a freak, man. He gets off the ball like the flash of lightning. He is insanely strong. That would be a great pick for the Falcons. Him and Grady Jarrett on that line, that would be great.
All right, number 11. Now, while this would be a pick I necessarily agree with, this would be a pick that I think the Broncos would make. Now, when I say that, Carson Strong is a very good player, but he has injury concerns. I compare him to Matt Ryan. He has a Matt Ryan-esque to me. He's not very mobile, but he has a strong arm. He can make NFL throws. But on the downside, his injury, he's torn his ACL like 3 times. He's had like 3 major surgeries. And now with the strong arm, he also, the NFL throws he makes could also be a downplay of his competition, to where they're not like, if he throws it in one spot, that might be an NFL interception. But I mean, if it doesn't look like it to you, then I think he's worth taking a pick on. I think he's either gonna be I think he's gonna be a high floor guy, because of the athletic ability not really being there. But he's gonna be able to make throws that maybe some of these other guys can't with a strong arm. He's pretty accurate with the ball. And like I said, it's really gonna come down to if those throws that you see on tape are going to be picked off in the NFL or not, because you can make a case that they will, and you can make a case that they won't.
Personally, I don't know much about Carson Strong, but the Broncos need a quarterback. Their quarterback situation is horrendous. Teddy Bridgewater is not. Drew Lock is a bust. They need a quarterback. I don't really care who it is. They just need someone.
Yeah. Now number 12, Tyler Linderbaum. I think it really goes without saying they need center, and Tyler Linderbaum is the best center I've ever scouted. I would love him to fall to my Miami Dolphins, but he's not going to in this situation. He's going to Minnesota, help protect Kirk Cousins. I really don't think there's much discussion on this pick. They just need offensive line, and Tyler Linderbaum's the perfect fit. You like what you've seen from Christian Darrisaw in spurts. There's a couple maybe solid pieces, but the offensive line's terrible. 13, my wide receiver 1. I've started with wide receivers for some random reason. I usually start with quarterbacks, but this year I start with receivers. My wide receiver 1, Garrett Wilson, and I can really go into depth on him because I have done my prospect scouting, which I can actually bring up real quick. There's Chris Olave. All right, Garrett Wilson. So I gave him a 90.1 grade, which would put him in the elite category, and compared him to Justin Jefferson. He plays just like Justin Jefferson. So if you like Justin Jefferson, you're gonna like this kid. The way he moves his arms, it's like Justin Jefferson. He's a really good route runner. he goes up and gets the ball in different scenarios. He has a couple of those little concentration drops that most people have, but other than that, there's not really concern to him. Maybe you're concerned about his size to play on the outside. I don't think you should be. I think this guy's going to be a day one, really a day one impact player, whether that's for Baker Mayfield or Derek Carr or someone else. I think he's going to help the offense tremendously after losing Odell. I think Jarvis Landry, he's going to be a good compliment to Landry. I really like Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Having him replace Odell Beckham would be huge because they don't have much weapons outside of Jarvis Landry and Nick Chubb on that offense. And with David Njoku leaving, that's another hole they need to fill. But having Garrett Wilson really helped that offense a lot.
Yeah. It's like the 12th time I think my internet unstable. All right, 14th. Now, Eagles fans, how in the world does this happen? It's been like in the last 40 years, they've never drafted a linebacker even close to the first round. I think this is the year they do it under new coach Sirianni, and there's two really good linebackers. The next one we'll get into soon. I think they do it. I think they take Devin Lloyd. He had a phenomenal game against Oregon in the conference championship. He's rangy. He can cover. He can pack a punch. He can tackle. He's really everything you really need in a linebacker. And the Eagles desperately need a linebacker. So I think he fits all the boxes, and I think that's who they take.
Yeah, that would be a great pick for the Eagles. I can't even name one person on their linebacking core. That's how bad it's been. And Devin Lloyd is a big prospect. That would be good for them.
Number 15, my Bama boy. I'm an Alabama fan. 15, Saints, Jameson Williams. You get Michael Thomas back, and then you get someone that can just stretch the field. When Jameson Williams transferred to Alabama, I watched his limited time at Ohio State. And you see this fast guy that can outrun everyone. But when he got to Alabama, he also brought in this route running aspect that I didn't really see from Ohio State. His route running has increased dramatically. Now, the only problems I might see with Jameson are he does struggle when you get physical with him. But other than that, I don't really see any problems. He does have those concentration drops, but his speed, like they say, speed kills. He's a yak monster. He helped Bryce Young win that Heisman. And a guy that we're going to see in next year's draft, probably be in the top 5. He's just insane. He changes direction really nicely. I just think it'd be a home run hit for the Saints. And he also received an elite grade, I think, from mine. And his comp was Will Fuller, but I think he's a better version of Will Fuller. Now, Will Fuller really hasn't been able to tap into his potential because of injuries, but I think Jameson Williams could be like a step above Will Fuller.
Yeah, Jameson Williams, he brings everything to the table. Speed, route running, he can even return kicks. He's got that electrifying speed, can go down the field with ease, and having a strong arm QB like Jameis Winston, throwing to him with Michael Thomas, electrifying offense.
Yeah, and the Saints desperately need wide receivers, so that'd be a home run hit. 16, I have the Ravens going Andrew Booth Jr. Now, Marlon Humphrey was out, Marcus Peters was out, but Marcus Peters ain't gonna last forever. And funny story. So I was watching Darion Kendrick last year, which he didn't come out last year. And the guy that always kind of jumped out on tape when I was watching Darion Kendrick before he got kicked off Clemson was Andrew Booth. Now, he's not my cornerback 3. He probably is my cornerback 4, but he's very athletic and he just makes plays. I think the Ravens are going to value that, and I think that they desperately need a corner to be there for when Marcus Peters is gone. And this is a super good corner class. You don't want to, if you need a corner, you don't want to miss on one of these guys. I think I have like 6 going in the first round, which probably won't happen, but I think it's that good of a class.
Yeah. Replacing Marcus Peters when his time comes, that's going to be big. And Marlon Humphrey's going to be a superstar for a while. So adding Andrew Booth to that secondary would really bolster it up for the long run.
All right, 17. Steelers probably thinking they go quarterback. I think they probably trade for someone. But there will probably be mocks where I go quarterback. But this one, I think it's a perfect fit. One of my favorite fits in the draft. Nakobe Dean, a blitzing nightmare at linebacker who can do everything. He reminds me of Roquan Smith, but I think he might be better. Nakobe Dean's insane. He jumps out on tape. He's a freak of an athlete. And he also packs the punch. And I think he's exactly what the Steelers need. Their linebacking core is atrocious. And so is the offensive line. You could make a case for Charles Krause or a Kenyon Green, or a Trevor Penny, but I think you go Nakobe Dean and try to get offensive lineman later, which I think it's a good off the tackle class. But Nakobe Dean, I think, is just a perfect fit for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you said it all, man. Like he gets downhill so quickly. It's a nightmare for anyone running at him. He would be a great fit for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. The freaking Raiders, the memes of all memes. Now I think they would love a Jameson Williams at this point, but he is gone. Maybe you see him, they go with Traylon Burks here, but for this, I went Charles Cross. They desperately need off the line. Alex Leatherwood was terrible, as we all expected this year. They try to move him in the guard, still not working. Charles Cross, very good off the tackle. I think it's really what they need most. I think they need off the tackle. They traded away like their whole offensive line. For what reason, I don't know. But Charles Cross, very good off the tackle. I think they need to protect Derek Carr, whoever there is at quarterback.
Yeah, they completely whiffed with the pick last year. What was he like? Discord with like 3,000 memes. This computer or something.
Yeah, the meme connoisseur.
Like that pick was just.
I love me some Alex Leatherwood. Another Bama boy. I love me some Alex Leatherwood, but he was not a first round pick. He was a second or third round pick.
Yeah, second, third round pick. Picking him in the first round, I don't know what they were thinking. Charles Cross would work very well for them.
The meme connoisseur, the W meme connoisseur. Let's go. All right, 19. Now you're crazy if you don't think that the Eagles are going to leave this draft without a defensive lineman. And DeMarvin Leal, while he's dropped a little bit for me, he's still a freak athlete. I think he needs to put more size on, and I think he has some developing he needs to do. But I mean, he's too good of a prospect to not pick or get picked in the first round, and much less probably the top 25. I think he deserves to be there, and I think he will be there. He might have a down year for A&M this year, but that really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, DeMarvin Leal would be a great pick for Philly, just because Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox are getting old, and Derek Barnett, that would be a good compliment for him. So I feel like going DeMarvin Leal is the right choice.
They also could move on from Derek Barnett soon. I think he becomes a free agent soon. So 20 Chargers.
Yeah, he's inspiring.
Chargers, I got him going Trayvon Walker. They need to stop the run. And I think Trayvon Walker was the best player on that defense. I think, to be honest, I think Jordan Davis was like the third best player on the defensive line. Devontae White and Trayvon Walker, I think, outplayed him, and he also only plays like 2 downs. It's just I don't know. That's not a first round. That's not a first round guy in my opinion. If he can only play 2 downs, so Trayvon Walker, he's a good pass rusher and he can stop the run. I think it's everything that you need, and he's definitely not Jerry Tillery, and Jerry Tillery is terrible. So I think Trayvon Walker is a huge pickup here, and I think that instantly makes the Chargers defense better. And then with it being such a strong corner class, you definitely go corner in the second round, or maybe a linebacker in the second round.
Yeah, having him and Joey Bosa on the same line would be crazy, just because they really have no one else outside of Joey Bosa. And again, it's a very corner-heavy class. Going corner in the second round and drafting him in the first, that would really create a stout defense.
Yeah. All right. Number 21, Roger Mccreery. He is my third corner, and he had such a great year for Auburn. Now, he did get away with a couple penalties against old Jameson Williams, but he played very well in that game against Alabama. He was locked down this whole year. He's fast. He's got all the tools that you want in a corner that could develop into a top 5-10 corner. And I think he's going to be fantastic at the next level. And you get him at 21, I think he's a guy that's going to go way earlier than 21. But for right now, that's where he is right now. I think he's number 12 on my last big board. Take that with a grain of salt. This is just for me watching the players because I watch college football. But Eagles need corner over next to Darius Slay. And I think Roger Mccreery fits him well. And Darius Slay is not getting any younger. So
yeah, I feel like his talent's going to play right to the NFL level. Again, Darius Slay, he's like what, 31, 32 now. He's he's going to retire soon. So McCreery is going to be great for them, man. That's going to be a big asset for them in the long run.
Slay is playing phenomenal, though. He might have some more years left in him of high level play. He's still playing phenomenal. All right, number 22, my Miami Dolphins. I have him going Chris Olave. Now, the thing about Chris Olave, he reminds me so much of Devontae Smith that I love the Devontae Smith and Jaylen Waldo. It's my favorite duo of all time. So I would love to see a Devontae Smith-esque player next to Jaylen Waldo. Jaylen Waldo was fantastic this year, and if it wasn't for Jamar Chase, I think he would be my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he was better than Mac Jones. And Jaylen Waldo, the thing about him is that he has 99 catches, and Sunday he will go for the record, an NFL rookie record. I think he only needs like 3 or 4 more. I think he needs 3 more to tie and then 4 to beat it. The thing about Jaylen Waldo is that he is doing all of this while not even being tapped into his real role, and that's a deep threat. And coming out, I was higher on Jaylen Waldo than a lot of people were. Jaylen Waldo was my 3rd ranked player in the class, and I got clowned for that. People were like, "Oh, well, why don't you have Jamar Chase there? Why is he above Jamar Chase? Why is he above Devontae Smith?" Now, Jamar Chase had a phenomenal year, but he also got to play more of his role. Jaylen Waldo had to play a different role than he's used to. He's usually the deep threat. He was playing as a possession receiver. They were throwing him on screens. The Dolphins play calling was terrible. The one thing they did get right was they used him as versatile. He was a very versatile player. They hand him off the ball. And one of my favorite plays was against the Saints, where Tua, I believe it was he went out as like a speed option, then he did the reverse back to Waddle and they scored. But Waddle hasn't even tapped into his real potential, and he's gonna be a 1,000-yard receiver, and he's gonna break the rookie record for receptions. So you get a guy like Chris Olave, very, very good route runner. He has good hands. There's points where he's not very physical, but I mean, if you're getting past guys, you don't have to be physical. but I think he's a great fit next to Waddle. And while they do need offensive line, trust me, I know we need offensive line. There's not a guy that I'm willing to bet on. I feel like every guy, I just feel like it's going to be an Austin Jackson clone. Even though I love guys like Trevor Penny, I just don't want to relive Austin Jackson. So Chris Olave.
Yeah, that would be great for the Dolphins offense because it would force other defenses to stop blanketing Waddle with two players, and it would really let Waddle flourish into his own with Olave up going next to him on the other side of the field. It would really be good for Tua.
Yeah, Tua or whoever the quarterback is. I love Tua, but we're not for sure if that's going to be the quarterback or not, which makes me sad, but we'll see. 23, I have the Patriots going corner. They traded Stephon Diggs for a second-round pick, sixth-round pick, something like that. I think it was a sixth-round pick to the Panthers. J.C. Jackson is a ball-hawking monster. He's a very good corner. I think you take a developmental guy in Kaiir Lamb. He had a down season at Florida and he was injured, but everyone on Florida had a down season, so it really didn't matter. He's a very good corner. I think he might have fallen down boards, but I think he's good in man. I think he's good in zone. And I think that the Patriots can, as shown, they can take guys from, I believe J.C. Jackson was undrafted, and turn them into very good players. So I think Kaiir Lamb, a developmental guy, but I think he can fit.
Yeah, having him with J.C. Jackson, an already good Patriots defense, that'll make it even better. And, Belichick's going to be around for a long time. We all know that. He'll develop him right, and that's a great pick for the Patriots.
24, I have the Cardinals taking Kenyon Green. He's weird. So he started off as a guard, and then he kicked out to tackle. So he has the versatility to play guard or tackle. And the Cardinals need an offensive lineman. They need corner too, but I think they need offensive lineman more. So protect Kyler Murray. He still seems to be getting pressure way more than he should for how small he is. So I think you take Kenyon Green here.
Yeah, that would really help a below average Cardinals line protect Kyler Murray and even help with James Conner and Chase Edmonds in the backfield. That would be a really nice pick for the Cardinals.
All right, so 25. I have the Bills taking Drake London. Oh, I almost got my name mixed up. Drake London. All right, so he's fun. All right, so he did break his ankle, I believe, or I think it was broke his ankle, or he tore his ACL. One of the two. So that's going to drop him down boards. Now, this is weird because I've never seen this before. Drake London is a headhunter at the wide receiver position. I called him the NBA young boy of fucking wide receivers. He's a headhunter. It's weird, but he plays just like Mike Evans. And with Emmanuel Sanders not being any younger, you got the route runner, Stephon Diggs. I think you need a guy that can go up and get it. Does he have concentration drops? Yes. But does everyone? Yes. So I really don't think that matters. He is my fourth ranked receiver, I believe. But he is fun. He's a really, really good talent. He was on pace for 1,000 yards in 5 games. He was the whole USC offense. So I think there's they need a running back, but I think you can get a really good one because I think this is a pretty good running back class in round 2 or 3, like a guy like Jerome Ford or Kenneth Walker. So I think you take Drake London here because he's just too good to pass on.
Yeah, and he'd be walking into a great situation with Josh Allen as his quarterback and a guy like Stephon Diggs to learn from, and even a great head coach in Sean McDermott or whatever the hell his name is. I don't know. Yeah, he'd be able to flourish in that Buffalo offense very well, and that would be a really nice pick for them.
All right, 26, Trevor Penny. I'm going to try to make these picks go a little faster. Trevor Penny. The Bengals didn't take off the lineman, and I mean, it seemed it's the right pick. I thought Jamar Chase was the right pick, but the off the lines played better. Jonah Williams at guards played pretty well. I think you get a developmental guy in Trevor Penning. I think he's a freak athlete. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he's a high ceiling guy. And I think that's what the Bengals need. And if they hit on it, that offense will be scary. 27, Daxton Hill. Now, Daxton Hill is a freak of an athlete. He flies all over the field. And he's one of the only Michigan players, him and Jabo, are one of the only Michigan players that helped their stock in that Georgia game. Now, he did get bullied by George Pickens one play, but he flies. He's a hard hitter. He's just everywhere. I think he's a phenomenal talent, and I think he's going to translate like a Derwin James. I don't know if I like that comparison. I need to dive into his film more, but I love Daxton Hill. He's one of my favorite players in the class. Um, 28, Martin Emerson, a guy that I think's flying under the radar. I watched his interview. He's a really cool person. He's a hard worker, and that's why he went to Mississippi State. He went to Mississippi State because he didn't want distractions. So I think that's a really good trait to have in the NFL. But I think he's good in man-to-man. He's a very good athlete, and he can go up and get the ball if you need him to. 29. Now, I would hate to see this because it's the Chiefs. Traylon Burks. I compared him to Alshon Jeffrey, I believe. He can go up and get the ball. He's physical. He's fast. He's insane. Concentration drops, yes. And he has a limited route tree, but so does Tyreek Hill. I mean, it doesn't really matter if Tyreek Hill has a limited route tree because he's faster than everyone. Traylon Burks, it really doesn't matter because he can just go up and get it over anyone. So I think you pair him next to, you're pairing him next to all the same guys. McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, the other guy, what's his name? I can't think of his name, but they're all the same guys. You got to get a different type of receiver in there. I think Traylon Burks fixed the bill. 30, they went with Stingley earlier, going Corral, high upside guy. He doesn't have to start right away. He's not very he's accurate, but he's not like very accurate. He misses some throws that he shouldn't. His junior tape, he was reckless with the ball, but he has a huge arm. And I think that at the end of the day, you can take a chance if you're the Lions because you still do have Jared Goff. You don't have to give up on him right away. You can bring Matt Corral as competition, and eventually maybe he takes over a starting job, or maybe he takes it from day one. But you also got to go invest in receivers. You can't have Amon-Ra St. Brown as your only weapon. So 31. All right, this one's interesting. I've done it for 2 mocks now, but Malik Willis. Now he is a rocket of an arm. He is an extremely good athlete, but he's not as accurate with the ball as you want him to be. But the one thing I have seen over the last his junior tape and his sophomore tape and his junior tape, I guess, is that he fixes mechanics. And if he can do that, I think he can fix any problem that he really has right now. And I also think that he's not throwing that much talent there at Liberty. So I think that you just got to take a chance. And if you're the Titans, where Ryan Tannehill, in my opinion, is not the guy. I think he's fooled us for 2 years thinking he was the guy. I even had him in MVP because in MVP conversations before the season, like preseason MVP, like runner-up, like one of the runner-ups. But he's just not the guy. I mean, yes, they have injuries to they had injuries to AJ Brown, and Julio's been out what seems like the whole year. But I just don't know. He didn't have Derrick Henry, and he didn't show anything special, in my opinion. So I think you get Malik Willis in there, who doesn't have to play right away. He still has Tannehill right there. But I think Malik Willis will. You let him develop there, and then you give him a shot. And I think he'd make that Titans offense super fun with AJ Brown and Julio. Or well, I guess Julio probably wouldn't be there when he starts. AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, and Malik Willis. Oh my God, that would be fun. And then 32, Jahan Dotson. He's small, but he plays bigger than he is. He makes crazy catches, good route running. He's fast. And I think Packers need receiver. Amari Rogers has not worked out. He's not been that great. So, yeah, if you want to give any of your inputs of the last couple picks.
Yeah. Malik Willis to the Titans would be, yeah, like you said, very exciting. I think he has a high upside. He just needs the right time to develop and learn under a guy like Tannehill, a veteran. And John Dotson to the Packers would really make sense because they need another receiver. If Devontae Adams leaves, then he would fit in there very, very nice. And having a guy like Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, that's just a compliment to any receiver.
All right. So now I feel like I took forever on that, but we're going to get into your mock draft. So I believe you can screen share. Let me make sure. Does it say you can screen share?
This is only.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me figure out how to do this again. I did at one point. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, here we go. Sorry. There you go. You should be able to screen share now.
All right. This is my mock draft. First overall, Kayvon Thibodeau. That's pretty much a lock at this point. Still needs help getting to the quarterback. Having him challenge for a long time, that would be great, in my opinion. Number 2, the Lions going Hutchinson. Again, another team that needs help getting to the quarterback. Neal. Pairing him with Laramie Tunsil, protecting whoever's at quarterback, whether it be Davis Mills or
it won't be
Mafia,
Deshaun
who
Watson.
knows?
All right. Sorry, the thing disconnected.
It's fine. I don't know where Deshaun's going to end up. Maybe it's Miami, Denver, who knows. But number 4, Kyle Hamilton. Jets need a safety. He's a freak of nature. I love him so much. I really hope the Jets go with 4. Number 5, David Ojabo to the Giants.
Great pick.
This great pick. Again, Giants, they need help getting the quarterback. A lot of, honestly, these days. And he would fit right in that Giants defense with Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence. It would be great for the Giants. Number 6, Ikem Ekwonu. Again, Panthers, they just don't have O-linemen. Their O-line is atrocious. This would be a very high upside pick for them. Number 7, the Greek Sheik, George Karloff, edge rusher.
Can I say that defensive line would be so good with Carl Lawson coming back, Carl Loftus, Quinnen Williams. John Franklin
Oh
Myers.
my
That
God.
would be so good. All you have to do is fix the backs, back five, back six. How many ever corners you have? CBs,
That would be the happiest I have been being a Jets fan my whole life. Number 8, Devin Lloyd to the Giants. I feel like they need linebackers. Blake Martinez is coming off a torn ACL.
I mean,
I
Blake
can't even
Martinez
name
also
another
isn't.
person.
Blake Martinez is also not really that great. I feel
Yeah,
like he's
he just
very
makes a lot of
overrated.
tackles.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah,
who else is
and
making tackles on the Giants defense?
Exactly. And he's also very overpaid. So Devin Lloyd to the Giants, that would be
I love that pick.
very good for them. Number 9, Charles Krause to the whatever their name is.
The Commanders, I think, is what everyone
I
said.
mean, yeah. Sorry, the Redskins. I feel like they need some O-line help. Their O-line wasn't like the best or the worst. I feel like it's sitting like right in the mediocre tier. Yeah. Charles Krause could take them to that next level.
The thing is,
number 10,
you like what you see from Sam Cosmi, even though he dealt with injuries. You like what you see from him. So, I mean, you lost Trent Williams, a year or two ago. So you put Charles Krause on the other side. I like the fit.
Number 10, Matt Krause, the Falcons. Now, obviously, Matt Ryan still has some left in the tank, but having a guy like him learn from Matt Ryan, I feel like that would be very beneficial for him. And I overall just like Corral as a prospect. He's got great arm, great talent, and yeah, I feel like he would fit right in Atlanta.
I do like the pick of Corral to Atlanta. I had that in like my early season mocks. I was like, oh, Atlanta needs to go Corral. I dove a little bit more into his tape. I was like, maybe not. But I mean, if they need a quarterback and they like Corral, then you go get that guy. So I like that pick.
Number 11, I got the Broncos taking Kenny Pickett. Again, their quarterback situation, trash, god awful, whatever word you want for it. Drew Lock and Teddy Bridge, not them. And Kenny Pickett again, he's got all the talent. I feel like he's gonna, and even with like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, Fan and Tay Williams, a dual threat back, that could really complement his talent.
Yeah. I think if Kenny Pickett gets to 11 and they don't take him, even though like it worked out for him with Patrick Surtain and Justin Fields last year, if Kenny Pickett gets to 11 and they don't take him, then there's something wrong. All right.
Number 12, I like Jordan. Their defensive line is all right, I would say. Michael Pierce missed most of this year. Daniil Hunter might come back next year. We don't even know what the situation is with that. And I just feel like Jordan Davis there would be the right pick. Yeah,
my only gripe with Jordan Davis, he's very athletic, and I loved him in the preseason, but I don't know if I can get behind spending a first-round pick on a guy that can't play more than 2 plays. And what really sold me on Jordan Davis really not being a first-round pick is that Alabama game planned around Jordan Davis. So what Alabama did was they would run the ball, run something quick, run that again, and they would go hurry up. So you couldn't get Jordan Davis off the field. And then they would go right at him. And you would see guys that aren't as good as Jordan Davis talent-wise just handle him because he's tired. He plays 3 plays and his hands are on his hips. Alabama used that, and that's how they beat Georgia. And I'll be wondering to see if they do it again because it worked for them last time. So,
number 13, I have the Browns taking DeMarvin Leal. That would really be a boost to their Jadeveon Clowney, Myles Garrett, DeMarvin Leal. That's a pretty solid. line, if you ask me.
Myles Garrett, the A&M duo. Jadeveon Clowney, I think this is his last season at the Browns. He's just not very good. So DeMarvin Leal, he's been trying to play some edge. Leal's been trying to play some edge, so I can see them maybe taking them, putting them on the other edge of Myles Garrett if Clowney is gone, or they keep him inside defensive tackle.
Number 14, I have Derek Stingley to the Eagles. Now, if I'm the Eagles and Stingley's at this point, I'm running to the podium as fast as I can and handing in that card.
How does
this guy
fall this far?
He's trust me, you'll see why. Look, he's gonna translate right to the NFL. He's got all the tools you need in a corner, and him and Darius Slay, for however Slay long is there, that's a lock-up corner duo.
I like the pick. I mean, if he's there at
number
14,
15.
If he's there at 14, you run the card up there.
You got
I don't understand how if he falls to 14 on draft day, that would be one of the biggest falls. And I think the only reason he would is because he really hasn't played much since his freshman tape. But other than that, I mean, that's insane.
At 15, Jameson Williams to the Saints. Like I said in Cole's mock, if you're the Saints, you gotta pick him. No one else in mind, just straight Jameson Williams. He's got electrifying speed, return kicks, elite route running, in my opinion. Him and Jameis Winston would flourish together, and having Michael Thomas to mentor him, that's another upside for him. So the Saints, Jameson Williams, undoubtedly.
Yeah, I agree. Jameson Williams, phenomenal player. He, like I said, put him on the other side of Michael Thomas. When Michael Thomas healthy, I think he fits him perfectly. And like, if Jameis Winston, your quarterback, a strong arm quarterback, and a dude that can fly, he's great yak wise. I think it's perfect fit.
6, Gardner to the Ravens. Now, obviously, Marcus Peters getting old, Marlon Humphrey coming off an injury, but as long as those three are together, that's one of the best secondaries in the league. Like, I just think AHMAD Gardner would do so well in the Ravens system.
Yeah, he'd shut down one side of the field to where you would have to target Marlon Humphrey, which people have had success with over time. But Marlon Humphrey also creates a lot of turnovers fumble-wise. So if you do target him, I mean, your receivers got to make sure they hold on to the ball. So
17, Sam Howell to Pittsburgh. They need a quarterback. Big Ben's retiring. And I feel like even though he's a little high of a pick here, I feel like he would do well with Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin, Najee Harris, Juju, Deontay Johnson. That's a pretty good offense around him, if you ask me.
Now, I want to talk about this for a second. Sam Howell. Well, I haven't dove into prospects. I've dove into Sam Howell, and a lot of people say he looks like Baker. He plays like Baker. I don't necessarily think that's true. Baker in college had very good talent around him with Marquise Brown. Yeah, obviously he went to Oklahoma. The only player on North Carolina that's going to be drafted, which will be 2023, is Josh Jones, because he's fantastic. Sam Howell, you see, he can make NFL throws, but he also makes bonehead throws, which I think if he does go to Pittsburgh, he could develop I think Big Ben's still going to stick around that franchise. And I think he resembles Big Ben a lot. He's just way more athletic. So.
Yeah. 18, Kenyon Green to the Raiders. They traded away their entire offensive line. Leatherwood, he's just not it. They need offensive line help. Kenyon Green would fit right there.
He also has that flexibility.
That's the pick for them, in my opinion.
He has that flexibility that you need. That
yeah.
If he needs to play tackle, he can play tackle. You got Colton Miller over there, who's been very good. So if he needs to play tackle, Leatherwood plays guard, or he can play guard, and Leatherwood can go sit the bench. But yeah,
having that flexibility.
Yeah.
19, Trayvon Walker to the Eagles. I feel like having an edge rusher along with Stingley, if he does fall to 14, that would be a really, really out defense. And having him with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham for however long they are there, that's a pretty solid defensive line getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, Trayvon Walker. I really love Trayvon Walker. He's going to be a first round player, and when I get into his tape, but I really like Trayvon Walker. And with Derek Barnett, you don't know if you're re-signing him. Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox are getting older, and Trayvon Walker does have that flexibility to play like 5 tech. If he needs to play 3 tech, I think he can. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. And I think overall he'll just make that Eagles defense better.
At 20, I got the Chargers taking Jermaine Johnson. Now, pairing him with Joey Bosa, that just sounds scary for any offense, sorry. That I feel like he could honestly go higher in the draft, in my opinion. But at 20, that seems like the perfect spot for him to be taken. But I truly think the sky's the limit for this kid. He's going to be a really, really solid edge rusher for a while.
Yeah. A guy that I loved in 2019, that kind of went under the radar and picked 17th by the Panthers. Now, they went to the same school, but I really do think Jermaine Johnson reminds me a lot of Brian Burns. He's super quick. He flies off the ball. He's strong, and I think if you can develop him very nicely, I think like you said, the sky's the limit for him.
Definitely. 21, Eagles, Tyler Linderbaum. Jason Kelce, he's pretty old. I could see him maybe playing a little guard while Kelce's still there, then moving him to center, possibly. But Linderbaum's a very, very good prospect, and that would instantly help the Eagles.
So do you just keep Dickerson at guard permanently then? Because I think their plan was to move Dickerson to center whenever Jason Kelce obviously calls it career.
What I've seen from Dickerson, he's been pretty good at guard. So
he's been great. He's been really, really good.
I'd keep him at guard and then move Linderbaum to center.
Yeah, I got you.
22, Chris Olave.
Yes, sir.
The
Chris
Dolphins.
Olave.
I know Cole likes this pick. I like this pick. As a Jets fan, I don't like this pick. But
to be honest,
the Dolphins.
If the players that were on the board, that would still be on your board, I would technically rather have Garrett Wilson, but Chris Olave is still great. So, yeah, I'm chilling.
He's going to be great along Jaylen Waldo, whoever the quarterback is, to Deshaun Watson. Going to have weapons to throw to for a while. So that I really liked Chris Olave to Miami. 23, Garrett Wilson to the Patriots. Give Mac Jones a nice real. That would be insane.
Yeah,
having him and Jacoby Myers.
Garrett Wilson's a phenomenal talent.
It would really boost that Patriots offense in so many different ways.
You're telling me you're giving basically another Justin Jefferson to Bill Belichick? Please don't do that. as an AFC East team, please don't do that. Like, please don't do that. But nah, it would be a great fit.
Got it.
I love Garrett Wilson.
24, Cardinals, Andrew Booth Jr. I feel like they need some help at the corner position. They have Byron Murphy in the slot. They don't really have much like anyone else, honestly. I feel like Andrew Booth fit right into the Cardinals. And he really has everything you want in a corner.
Yeah, Marco Wilson's not that guy in my opinion. You got Budda Baker at safety. You got Byron Murphy in slot, who's a very, very good slot corner. You put Andrew Booth, a high upside guy in my opinion, and you stick him in that Cardinals offense. I think he has room to grow and refine some of his talent. But I think he'd be a good pick for the Cardinals. If he's your best player on the board, or if he's your best player at position in need, I think you'd take him. So yeah.
25, I got the Bills taking Treylon Burks. Like I said, he would be great for the Bills. Him and Stephon Diggs having a gunslinger quarterback like Josh Allen throwing to them, that's insane. And like he would flourish so well in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. He would be a great fit in Buffalo. Now I was gonna put him in Buffalo, but I put Drake London there because I think I put Treylon Burks there before. But yeah, he would fit perfectly in Buffalo. And I think he would bring that offense a higher ceiling than it already does, which is insane.
26, I have the Bengals taking Nicholas Petit-Frere. They need offensive line help. They didn't take an offensive lineman last year. They could add Sewell, but Jamar Chase obviously has became a freak of nature. But going to Cincinnati, giving Burrow even more time to throw to those insane weapons he has, it would be a boost for the team overall.
Yeah. While I'm high on them taking the offensive tackle, I'm not sure if Frere is the guy. But I mean, obviously, if that's who the Bengals will like, and if that's who you like, then you take him there. But I'm not for sure Frere is a first round talent, in my opinion. I think he's more of a second or third round guy, but it really doesn't matter. It's who they think is the best player at where they need, or obviously if you're the GM, it's who you think is the best player. So yeah.
27, I have the Cowboys taking Jaquan Brisker. Now, I don't really know how I feel about their safety situation, but I just feel like having a guy like Brisker there, that would instantly complement the guys that they have down low, giving them more versatility and just truly bolstering an already solid defense.
Yeah, I like the Brisker pick. He's probably my safety forward behind Hamilton, Battle, Hill, and then he'd probably be Brisker. But he's all over the field. He's always making tackles. Probably has an injury. He has an injury concern, I think. But Jaquan Brisker, the Cowboys need playmakers. They got Trayvon Diggs, who might be a little overrated, but he's a great playmaker for that team. And so Jaquan Brisker is going to be all over the field. Yeah.
And 28, Jordan Battle to the Buccaneers. I feel like pairing him and Antoine Winfield, that just sounds like a safety tandem to be reckoned with. That, like, Jordan Battle, he could definitely go higher in this draft, in my opinion. But having him at 28, to the Buccaneers. It just seems like a perfect fit for me.
Yeah, Battle just missed my first round, and I kind of don't know how he didn't get in there. But he's a very, very good covering safety. He's probably one of the best Alabama's had. He does have a tendency to miss tackles or kind of overrun tackles, but I mean, you're going to a team who already has a really good defense. I think he won't have to be asked to be. He won't be as reliant. And a guy that I've loved, he was my favorite prospect. I think one of my favorite prospects in the 2020 draft, Antoine Winfield. I think you pair him up with him. I think it's a perfect match.
Uh, 29. Now, this is a pick that I kind of wanted to change, but I feel like Jahan Dotson to the Chiefs, it could possibly happen, pairing him and Tyreek Hill. But I feel like they need like a big boundary jump ball receiver to go along with Hill. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this pick looking back at it in retrospect.
Jahan Dotson's a playmaker. He plays bigger than his size. He goes up and makes spectacular catches. So, I mean, I think he would be still a good fit in KC. Maybe a guy like Drake London might be a little bit better of a fit. But I still think Jahan Dotson's an incredible talent. He's small, but that's obviously shown not to matter in KC. So
30, the Lions taking Malik Willis. Now, I feel like he could definitely take over as the starter day one. Jared Goff, he's just really not that good. But I feel like you need to let Willis develop a little bit. You can't just throw him into the fire immediately. He needs that time with all the potential he has. And again, the sky's the limit for him. He has an insane arm.
Yeah, he's like a Michael Vick, Josh Allen hybrid, which is scary. But if Malik Willis falls to 30, like I did with the Titans, you take him. Even if you whiff on him, you can go to bed thinking that there's a chance that this guy can become something special. I think Malik Willis has like best quarterback in the league upside. He's so strong. He's so athletic. He's a better version of Trey Lance, in my opinion. The same thing with Trey Lance. It's the accuracy and I think his accuracy might be a little better than Trey Lance. The thing about Malik Willis, and in the very few games I've watched, he has wow plays like this guy should be going number one, and then he has what the fuck plays, which this guy shouldn't be drafted. He's so bipolar that it's like it's what Malik Willis are you going to get? What Malik Willis can you develop? Now, for Malik Willis, I think just like Josh Allen, he's going to need good coaching. And Josh Allen worked. He was looking like a bust. Josh Allen worked because Brian DeBall fixed his mechanics. Malik Willis has already started to fix his mechanics. I think they need some refinement. And if you can get a good coach in there to help refine it, and I think Anthony Lynn, is there. I think could be the guy that could help him. He helped Herb. But Malik Willis, yeah. If the Lions think he's their guy, then you take him. But you do have to go weapons later on for him, or it's not going to matter. You can't not just be throwing to Amon or Etsy Brown.
So. 31, I have the Titans taking Nakobe, sorry. They do have a lot of good linebacker talent there, but I feel like they could definitely like rotate him and like Jayon Brown and Rashaan Evans, just having a constant rotation of elite linebackers and guys that play differently. I feel like that could very, very well work for a team like the Titans.
Yeah, I think it's a really good fit. Nakobe Dean's a phenomenal player, and we're gonna get to see him here Monday. But I don't have any problems with this pick. If he's on the board, I think you take him. Rashaan Evans has been good. I mean, he's not been spectacular, but he's been good. I think you give that high upside guy that's just going to fly all over the field and make plays. This Titans defense has surprisingly been good, and that's why they are still in the playoff race, or at number one in the playoff, I guess, while losing Derrick Henry, not having Julio Jones for a lot of the season, losing A.J. Brown. It's because of this defense. This defense has been really good with Harold Landry, Rashaan Evans, Kevin Byard, Monty Hooker, I believe is his name. It's just been very good. And you added Nakobe Dean on there, it could get scary.
And at 32, I have the Packers taking Drake London. They need more receivers. Equanimous St. Brown, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I'm not really sold on them.
No, they're terrible.
I feel like Alan Lazard. Yeah, Alan Lazard, I feel like he has some upside. I like his size. I like he can.
He's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible.
He can get the ball. He can get up and get the ball. Come on. I like.
He could be a solid wide receiver 3.
Yeah, definitely. But having a guy like Drake London for Aaron Rodgers to throw to, that's huge. That'll convince him to stay longer with the team, fix the toxic relationship they have. So yeah, I like Drake London to Green Bay.
Yeah, Drake London, go up and get it. Headhunter. And obviously there's a chance Devontae Adams leaves this offseason. So if your wide receiver 1 leaves, you replace him with a guy that could be a wide receiver 1. Now he doesn't have the greatest route tree, but he can develop. And while I don't think Aaron Rodgers probably stays, I think that you give a very talented player, a guy like LaFleur, I think the sky's the limit for him too. I think he's very good. I think he could flourish there. And especially Devontae Adams, he'll be thrust into a role. And he was the USC offense, so I think he can handle the wide receiver 1 role. Because like a guy like Waddle sold me that he could be a wide receiver 1 just sheer off the fact that he can handle a load. So I think it's a phenomenal pick. If he falls to 32, I think, yeah, you take him. I don't care about the injury issues. You take him. You take a chance.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. I know it took way longer than I should have, but I had fun talking about this. I had fun with our first ever episode of this. I can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to make more blasphemous picks. But yeah, once we get to the combine and all this, more of these will be able to be more refined. Right now, they're kind of just all over the place, but they'll be more refined. Yeah. And so Senior Bowl is going to be big for a guy like Kenny Pickett. So yeah, but I had fun. This was fun. Yeah. So that's going to be it for this. We'll see y'all in the next episode. We are going to record our first ever episode of the podcast Tuesday, I believe. We have, I think, 10 people in the whole group, and we're going to break you up into 5 and 5. So yeah, recording, we'll have videos out Tuesdays and Saturdays, I believe. So yeah.
Yep.
Y'all be easy. Have a good day.